Hi ladies, welcome to my channel. Um, my name is Michelle, but I go by Mimi. And think of me as the big sister you never had. And think of what I'm going to share as life lessons that I had to learn the hard way, sometimes through people and most time by myself. My name is Mimi. This is kind of like my video diary of life experience. I'm originally from Ivory Coast, West Africa, but I grew up in Miami, Florida, where at the age of 15, 16, I ran away from home, from a toxic environment. And I don't know how, but I landed in the strip club. So I used to be a stripper for many, many, many years. I got played. I've played some people, some men. And throughout my life, God has also brought women who play the role of older sister for me. I'm not going to give the person name, so let's call her Aggie. Aggie was one of these women that God brought into my life to teach me the rope. To teach me the rope. She was very sexy and sensual and feminine. And at that time, I didn't know who I was because I came from a very masculine mother who felt the need to prove to men that she was worthy because she didn't feel it internally. And because she didn't feel it internally, she went around giving her best and her all to a man, my dad. And in the end, he used her, played her, and when it was time for him to deliver what he had promised, which was a life in America as a family with her, her children, and him, he, left her and took the children, and we came to America with another woman who wasn't our mother, who was a picniccia. She was a picniccia and a barber builder, and she got played, she got used, she got abused physically, mentally, verbally, all you can think about. My dad is a Sagittarius, and we all know this man can be really toxic. So he used to take his anger, anxiety, kind of anxiety, but mostly anger out on us, especially me, because I'm an Aquarius, I'm very independent in spirit. And I like to do what I want to do when I want to do it, how I want to do it. I don't know if it's a masculine trait, but I don't like to be dominated or controlled. And my dad and I clashed because he wanted to dominate and I did not want to. So the best way he knew how to was to try to break my self-esteem and make me feel like I wasn't enough. And for so long, I went around feeling defective, unwanted, not good enough. Especially when he told me, oh yeah, by the way, if you don't go to college and get your college degree, men are just going to use you for sex and dump you. So I always felt like I had something to prove. And my biggest fear was for men to sleep with me and leave me. But use me as a sexual toy. But by God's grace, I feel like I've overcome this. Not really, but I'm still on that route. So all of this in a nutshell is the reason why I am here. Yeah, let's think of this as my video diary, and I am going to be sharing tips that I learned to help other women, young girls like myself who at one point of your life ended up in a situation where you didn't have a support system, where you had no mother, no father guidance, not because you wanted to, but because that's what life had in store for you. I'm a Christian. I believe in God. He's my strength. He's my everything. Because without him, I wouldn't be where I am, and I wouldn't be the person that I have. It's so funny how I was reflecting on my life and feeling bad for myself. And God reminded me of the story of Joseph. If Joseph would have never been betrayed by his brother, he would have never been in Egypt. If Joseph would have never been in Egypt, he could have never been where God had promised him to be. If Joseph would have never been betrayed by Potiphar's wife, and was never lied on, he would have never been in Pharaoh's prison. And when Pharaoh had that dream, Joseph wouldn't have been there because he would have never met the cupbearer. So that betrayal, that pain, that hurt, it is all part of God's plan. It is all part of destiny. It is all part to lead you where you were meant to be, to lead you where you were supposed to be. And though as painful as it was and as misunderstanding as it was, God was always in it. And we were never alone. So we are the black sheep of society. We are the rejected of society. We are the stone that the builder refused, but God used it as a cornerstone. We are so misunderstood. The world either try to dim our light, break us, or tell us we aren't good enough. We aren't wanted. We don't deserve to be here. And we carry a lot. We carry a lot. That insecurity, that lack of self-esteem, that constant nagging that goes on within us to make us feel not good enough, we're inferior, all that, the labels and the pain that this world try to place on us can never silence the voice of God, that small, still voice within you that tells you, I belong here. I was meant to be here. He brought me here for a reason. I may not know where I'm going, but he knows. I may not know why he brought me here, but he knows. And I will overcome. Not where I want to be, but I'm far from where I used to be. And then the beauty, not to turn anybody into Christian, I'm just sharing my life testimony. The beauty of walking with God is that he always shows you a glimpse of where he wants you to be. There are going to be people in your life who are going to motivate you. For me, it was always feminine women that were either boss babes doing the thing, owning businesses, whether they were strippers, as workers, businesswomen, however they were always in charge of their destiny and financially secure. Some of them were married to wealthy men, others were on their own. But somehow those women, as many as they were on my path, on my journey, and on your path and on your journey, they stand out to you. You guys have some of the same failures and betrayal, especially when it comes to men. They've been where you've been. They've gone through what you've gone through, and they made it through. That is God's way of saying, you're going to be all right. I got you. And if they can do it, you can do it. And there's a reason why they're tugging on your heart. It's like a song. It's tugging at you. It's telling you this way. This way. It's so funny. I was telling God, I said, I don't know why you brought me here. Why am I here? And that was the answer. Those women that motivate you, that uplift you, that make you want to be better, do better. Because I was telling God, I was like, in the Bible, you give everybody a dream. Joseph had his dream, his promise. Abraham had his dream. Abraham had his promise. Everybody had a dream, but me, you never gave me a dream. You just showed me that I wanted to be rich and I just wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't want to work for somebody. That's all he gave me. And for so long, I did not understand what was my purpose, what was my reason, why was I here? And he finally revealed it to me. So, I gave you guys a little about me. I gave you guys a little about my chapter, my destiny, my background. What else do I want to give you guys? So, we know that in life, everything that we go through is meant to lead us what we're meant to be. All right, so being an ex-stripper, I have dated. I'm going to give you guys a little run about strip club life. I was naive when I first got into the strip club and I fell for game. I can't say many times. But however I fell for game, it bust me up. Let's call this guy Michael Castro. I was 18 years old. I don't want to get into the underage stuff. I'm not telling anybody's underage child to go do what I did. So I'm not going to get into those details, but I'm going to start where I was 21. I had just got back from Africa and I needed to make some money. I was living in a trailer with my aunt. She wasn't really an aunt, she was a family friend. And she was a Christian woman, and I sat down and I analyzed her life, and I was like, yeah, that's not going to be my destiny. I'm not going to be living in a trailer for far too long. So I got back to a strip club back in Miami, Florida, where I was living. And they hired me because I was young, fresh, and sexy. They hired me and gave me an opportunity. There, I met men who were goo gaga over me and wanted my time, but I was not interested. All I wanted was to make some money. And then I met Michael. Michael was different. He did not want a lap dance. He tipped me $50 every time I went on stage. When I sat there and I talked to him, he handed me money, which I like a lot. And he seemed like he was interested in me. He did not bring up sex. He was just not thirsty or desperate like the other guys in there. So I told myself, this may work. How silly of me, you guys. So we left, or he left. I don't know, somehow he ended up helping me get an apartment. Back then, I didn't know that I could get a letter from the strip club where I was working and I could have gotten an apartment because they would have said how much I made and that would have been proof of my income. I didn't know that. And since Michael made me think, I was so young, he made me think that he was the owner of the construction company he was working for. So I used him as a reference and he sent in paperwork. I don't know how, but I got an apartment with a pool. Well, not a pool for me, a pool for the community. And I was able to move into my first apartment. Then we started being intimate. We started spending a lot of time together when I was in our work. But I realized on the weekends, after work, if I called him, he did not pick up. I was young. I didn't know. And he also told me his living girlfriend at home, whom he claimed he was no longer with. He only stayed with her because she was pregnant. Oh my God, how silly of me. If she's pregnant, who got her pregnant? If you're not sleeping with her, how did she get pregnant? I did not think, I did not process. So on the weekend, I kept calling, and he had a friend named Makako. And Makako picked up the phone, and I was like, hey, can I speak to Michael? He was like, oh, Michael not here, Michael not here. He didn't speak much English, so I was like, okay. So Michael resurfaced on Monday, and I'm like, hey, I tried to reach you, where were you? He's like, oh, I went out of town, I didn't have my phone, blah, 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 blah. So one day, we're all at my apartment, we're partying, they're doing, you know what? And I'm just a drinker, I don't do much. So I'm in the kitchen cooking, and something told me, where's Michael? So I walk into the living room. He has a friend who just got out of prison, this black guy he met while he was in jail. And then there was Makako. And I'm like, where's Michael? They're like, I don't know. So I go into my room. There was this girl that I met into the strip club, right? I go into my room, and she is having intimacy with my dude. I lost it. It was the first time that had happened to me. In my rage, in my fury, I tried to fight Michael, and he body slammed me so hard I couldn't get up. So I grabbed my phone. I was going to call the police, and they all left. I cried myself to sleep. I woke up the next day, my body was achy. I was angry. I was pissed. And I couldn't stay in the house because every room brought back memories. So I went back to my auntie's trailer, which wasn't too far. She wasn't there. I broke in through the window, and I laid on her couch and I cried. And I promised myself, never again somebody was going to make me feel like that. And it's so funny because what the devil meant for evil, God turns it around for good. So yeah, I promised myself nobody was ever gonna do that to me, and I became what you call heartless, cold, vindictive, and I was all about my money and I was all about my bag. It's so funny that every time I left the strip club and I came back, it was like my initiation ritual where I would always meet the wrong guy who would take me and replay what my dad had told me, and they will be intimate with me and disappear or use me or play me and hurt me. And that right there was my motivation. That pain, I've always had this passion of turning pain into fuel. You hurt me once, guess what? Every man that looks like you, that breathes like you, that think like you, that reminds me of you, is going to pay for your mistake. It's going to pay for your... Yeah, I may not be able to make you pay because I was a fool for you. But you and your generation of men are all getting hurt. So I went around using men and using them with a passion, using them with motivation, using them for everything, whether it was doing what they did. Oh, baby, I love you so much. I will always be with you. I'm not with you for your money. I'm with you because I love you. And once I got what I wanted, I didn't think about them twice. I never gave away the cookie because a part of me always believed in a relationship, being with a man and being married, though it's not an end goal anymore. So yeah, I used men, I used men, I used men. If I can remember this one guy, let's call him Michael. Again, me and the Michael, right? Actually, let's call this one Cuddy. There you go. Cuddy was this white man who, years down the line, I was in Tampa, Florida, and he met me, and he was this macho man thinking he was a player because I was singing to his ego. And he felt good. He thought he was the man, and he took me shopping. We took trips down in Miami. We slept in the same hotel room. He spent money. He did everything I wanted him to do and much more. I guess he ran impatient or started realizing that he was wasting his time or that he wasn't going to get what he was going to get. The thing with Cuddy was an alcoholic. He drank. When he woke up, he drank. He drank throughout the day. He was always drinking, which made me realize he was hiding some form of insecure. So one day he drank and had no self-control. And he basically was like, so when you gonna give it to me? I was like, what are you talking about? He's like, when am I gonna have you? And I was like, well, baby, please be patient. And I'm trying to run my game, but this time, I guess he had enough. And he was like, you freaking nigger. That was my ammo. That was my ammo. The trash took itself out, basically. I used that to leave. I did not fight. I didn't feel insulted. I don't care. I'm not a nigger. I'm a beautiful black woman. So I took a taxi. I left. The next day he was so apologetic. I'm so sorry. I don't know what came over me. How can I make it up to you? And usually I would give them another chance, but this time I did not feel like it because I realized he was getting aggressive and I couldn't give him another chance. So yeah, there you go. You guys know a bit about me, my background, the hustle. And I've dated Dusties. I've also dated wealthy men. To me, a man... All right, so let's go back. Let's get down to the background of marriage and relationship. Marriage is a contract. It is a contract that states that the woman, what belongs to a man belongs to a woman when they are married, for better or for worse, right? That means it's a game. I don't know how to put it. My English is not so good. I wish I can translate what's going on here into here, but it's not matching. Basically, it is a contract. It is a means to gain access to wealth, to power. A woman shouldn't get married for love because throughout history, my history, what I have learned, my aunt, who was the first hustler I ever seen back in Africa when I was a little girl, let's call her MT. My aunt MT, she only dated white guys because she had a child with a black man who was established. He took his daughter and left but never married her. So she swore off black men. And since I've known my aunt, the first time I met her, because she was in our familial, in our house, she did not live at home with us. She was in the big city doing her thing, being a SW, a S worker, everything you can think about. The ancient feminine practices were her hustle, her thing. And that aunt taught me that black men were not worth it. I shouldn't waste my time with black men. Black men to me are my kryptonite. Somehow I can't hustle them. They always seem to get one up on me, and they always waste my time. So I realized, as a dark-skinned black woman, I have more chances with a Caucasian man than I did with my own kind. Even though I had this thing that where I wanted to stay loyal to the race because my dad being black and the love that I have for my dad, but I also realized that the trauma that I had from my dad kept me from black men. But like we always say, everything that happens to you is for a reason, and God is in control. So that aunt, she was on top of her game. Like, I know men who gave her millions, millions in money in Africa, like Seifa, and she fell in love with her husband. He moved her to France, and I guess once he realized that he had conquered her, he got rid of her. So my worldview, my world experience, women lose a lot once they love a man. Because once a woman loves a man, she become vulnerable. She's no longer herself. She loses herself. Most times she loses herself, and very rarely you're going to meet a man who's going to reciprocate, whatever that word is, that love back to you. Marriage is a contract. It was never about love. We as women, we as young ladies have been deceived by fairy tales, by romantic comedy, by, let me show you guys a secret. I used to be a big romantic comedy girl. I was a sucker for romance, for that guy who is going to put me on the pedestal, right? But if you pay attention to romantic comedy, the man is doing less talking, the woman's doing all the talking. She's doing all the revealing. She's revealing all her tiny little secret. But since it's a movie and it's supposed to be about happily ever after, the man has ammo that he can utilize to get the girl. And yeah, he gets the girl and they live happily ever after. That's some bullshit. In real life, women have to do less talking, because we are utilizing information for our benefit, not the other way around. The mystery of the woman is unfold on her saying less and hearing more. So a skill that I learned as a stripper, I'm going to teach you guys, is to say less of the truth and to be more of a fictional character. For example, tell me about you. Tell me about your ex. How was your past relationship? Well, darling, I love to focus on the future. The past is over. But if I had to give you something about myself, I'm spoiled. Can you do that? It gives them nothing. Whether your ex used to beat you, it doesn't matter. You are a spoiled princess. You are a spoiled goddess who just love to live in the moment. If he keeps digging you, you just brush him off like, my love, focus on you. It's our time. Yesterday is over. It leaves some mystery. You're not getting angry. You're not like, why are you asking me? You don't care about that. You are there. It's the art of war. We are using our military tactics to disarm the enemy. We are getting information that we know when we're going to use it, how we're going to use it, where we're going to use it, and how to make this man fall for us. This is not therapy. Why do I need to tell you anything about myself? My favorite one was, when I was 18, my favorite one was, well, I don't have any dating experiences because I was a little wild child. But I do know that my father loved to spoil me, and there's nothing that I asked that he did not give me. And And then I will go, so what do you like to do for fun? Because I know he's going to turn around and ask me what I like to do for fun. And then I can say, well, for fun, I like to travel. I like to go shopping. I love fine dining. And I like to go to the museum. You want to be selective, so selective on what you reveal. But you want to be all ears because you need information to make him drop on his knees. So romantic comedies were very, very, very deceiving and not for our benefits. And the Cinderella stories of Snow White waiting for Prince Charming, these were women who were incapable of rescuing themselves, incapable of standing up for themselves, incapable of doing anything. These were women who stuck around and tolerated abuse at the hand of the stepmother. But in real life, who do we take the abuse from? Is it from our stepmother or the woman, or is it from men? So they show you that you have to deal with whatever life has given you and wait for some men to come and rescue you. But let me tell you, women like us, we rescue ourselves. Women like us, we're not gullible, we're not naive. We don't sit there and wait for a man to come and rescue us. We grab life by the horn and we ride that sucker. We take advantage of what we take the lemonade that we have been giving, and we take the lemons that we have been giving and turn into lemonade and sell that sucker and use that money and go get us some eyelashes, some weave, some nails, some sexy clothes, and we go out there and we try to make that Prince Charming and make him fall. So marriage and romantic comedy and Cinderella stories, it's all programming us to be naive, to believe in love, fairy tale and happily ever afters, and open up. Guys, there is no equality in love. Love is a power game. It's a control game. It is a manipulation game. It is all about defeating the opponent, the opposite, and making them crawl at your feet. It was never about equality. Because let me tell you something. There has to be balance. There has to be balance. So one has to love more, the peasant, and one has to love less, the queen. So why you as a queen, get off your throne and come down here and mingle with peasants? It was never, I remember when I was a sucker for love. Oh, I want a man that's going to love me as much as I love him. I want a man who's going to be my equal, someone I don't have to play games with, someone I can be honest with, someone I can be truthful and real. And guys, that doesn't exist. That does not exist. I love Shira 7. Shira 7 has a thing that says, get with a man that you like, but he likes you more. So the man must love you, but you must kind of sort of like him. My mother has the best way of saying it. I remember when I used to cry, Mom, I love him, I can't live without her. Okay, my mom used to tell me, baby girl, you never give 100% to a man. You must always have some in reserve for yourself just in case it doesn't work. You gotta be like a cat. You gotta learn how to, you see when you throw a cat off the bridge, he always lands on his feet. The cat somehow, no matter what, always land on his feet. That's what that reserve is. That reserve is that, I don't care. I didn't even love him. I don't care. Look at what I got out of it. I got a car, I got a house, I got some money. I did not lose myself. I don't care. I got that bounce back. You're a cat. You land on your feet. That's why the man has to love you more than you love him. That's why the man has to give you more than you give him. That's why the man has to do more talking, more revealing, more chasing than you do. You're too busy filing your nails. You're too busy looking pretty. You're too busy reading a book, trying to upgrade your knowledge. You're working on yourself. You have to be so self-absorbed, not in a selfish way where I'm better than you, I'm that bitch, I'm this, I'm that is going on in the world out there. I'm a big fan of Megan Thee Stallion. She's an Aquarius like me. But all that baddest bitch on the planet or good pussy, we all have good pussy. And even good pussy get played. Look at how many times Nicki Minaj got played. We all got played. Men don't care how bum that kitty cat is. It's all about domination. Once he has got guy in there and he knows you're in the back pocket, he puts you as a placeholder. And he goes try to conquer more. Men are all about conquering. And how you maintain your power is not to be conquered no matter what. And what I have learned as an ex-dancer, how not to be conquered is to always go for the men you aren't attracted to. I am sorry. I know a lot of you guys are going to say, I cannot be intimate with a man that I don't like or love or that I'm not attracted to. Well, let's put it like this, sis. You went out with men you were attracted to, and what was the outcome? You cried, you lost yourself, you lost money, time, resources, effort. Probably got a whole bunch of kids by one. I'm not gonna lie, I have a kid by Dusty. We've all been in Dustville, Dusttown. But you being with a man that you were attracted to, what has it given you? See, we gotta be, in French we say calculatrice. You gotta calculate your moves. You can't just do things because he's cute, I'm attracted to him. No, babe, you need to go for a man that can establish your future, but that you are attracted to, because that means he never conquers you. He never dominates you. You're not attracted to him. You can treat him like trash, and he will run after you and do whatever you want him to do. But the men you are attracted to, I'm telling you, is your kryptonite. Every superhero, Superman even taught us, we all have a weakness. For me, it is light-skinned men. Oh my God, light-skinned brothers. Them brothers that are mixed, that look Puerto Rican and Bahamian, or light-skinned, pink lip, curly hair. I'm a sucker for those, but I know I can't do it. So why go look for trouble? Why not stay away from your weakness? It's going to make you weak. And you're in the business for winning. I don't have time to be weak for nobody's son. I'm out here trying to get it. Try to leave inheritance or something for my kid. What am I going to go do with his look? I can't take that to the bank. It doesn't do anything for me. Just makes me feel good. And now I'm on an ego trip because I want that type of nigga to chase me, but I'm in my weak spot. Because when Superman touched kryptonite, he goes down on his knees. But when there are no kryptonite, Superman is Superman. Well, think of yourself as Superwoman or Supergirl or a Wonder Woman. And understand, baby girl, we all have weaknesses. And our weaknesses are usually our type. And the best advice I can give you as a woman out here trying to leave a legacy and get her money, stay away from your kryptonite. You will thank me later. I've been there. All right. So what are we talking about? Marriage. Marriage is a contract. It's all about what you can get in this situation just in case it doesn't work out. A lot of women, including our mothers, were desperate for a man. They gave their all to a man. The man left with another woman, and all they had left was a bitterness. They were bitter to the core. I remember as a little girl, I used to see my mom sitting on the balcony crying, talking about how much she gave him, with everything I did for him. With everything I did for him, he did that to me. And I used to feel so bad for my mom. But there was nothing I can do to help her stop crying. All I knew is my dad wasn't shit because he hurt the woman that I love. I know there are two parts to a story, but come to find out when I grew up, my dad ain't shit. He's just a lost dusty who had the. My dad is a gigolo. He used women as a stepping stone for his next level. That's how he became a doctor in pharmacy. A woman of power got with him, sponsored him, gave him everything he needed. He went to school, did not have no money problem, but once he got there, guess what he did? He cheated on her and moved on to the next one. He's a social climber. He had no time. He had no heart, no responsibility, no vision. All he cared about was himself. And I had to see my mom crying, and I swore off men. When I was a little girl, I said, this man, they gonna pay. You made my mama cry, you gonna pay. But then we'll grow up and then we start falling in love and we start thinking things are different. But me, I'm a fast learner. You break my heart one too many times, I go into this place in my head where I become ice. I become heartless. I have no heart. All that's on my mind is get this money by any means necessary. And I don't care whose daddy I hurt. Because they weren't thinking about me when they hurt me. So I guess I'm from a place of revenge, but I'm also from a place of power. Because then I am no longer a sucker. And every night and then, I was working at this club in Tampa. My friend Juju, she takes me. We're going to the Louis Vuitton store. She said, oh, it was her birthday. There we go. So we were at the mall walking around, and one of her friends called her. She was like, and I've seen this dude at the club before, but I wasn't checking for him. Even though he was looking at me, and I was a challenge because all those white men were after me, but nobody was getting this cookie, and I was on my grown woman-ish. So it became a challenge. Like, he had to make me fall. And I beat the game. I realized that's all that was. But he was so my type, I couldn't. He was so my type, I couldn't. NFL player, get money, light skin, tall, sexy. Get away from me. I can't. So he calls my friend Juju. He's like, yo, I'm at the Louis Vuitton store. Come through. Oh no, he called her. He's like, who you with? She's like, I'm with Mimi. He's like, oh, bet. I'm at the Louis Vuitton store. Come through. Either way, we end up at Louis. And he's like, we come in, and he was with his homeboys. There you go. And she was like, hey, y'all, how y'all doing? And she was shaking his homeboy hand. So I did the opposite. I shook the hand of the homeboys. No. I ain't shaking the hand. He extended his hand. There you go. He extended his hand. And I pressed my hand. I was like, yeah, I'm sorry. I don't do handshaking. I shake everybody's hand out of the club. I even shook his hand before when I was tipsy. But I ain't doing it now. You will not make me fall. I rebuke you, son of Satan. So I pressed my hand. I was like, no, I don't do the handshaking. And his hand said he was so embarrassed. I was like, yep, got you. Think you're going to hurt me? So Juju was like, oh, it's my birthday. We're going shopping. And he sent her to this store. He was like, yo, go to this store. Tell the girl over there so-and-so sent you. Get everything you want, whatever. So Juju was like, all right, bet, Mimi, let's go. So we go. She goes in there. She pick up a dress, a shoe, a purse, whatever. And he was like, oh, let's link up later. Let's all go to the club. I was like, yo, Juju, I'm not in the mood to hang out. I'm gonna go work tonight. Like, I'm gonna go get my money. She said, no, come on. They're gonna have a section. We're gonna have bottles. You know, girl, it's my birthday. I was like, baby girl, I love you. Happy birthday. Again, I can't do it, y'all. I couldn't. Because at that time, he was the enemy. He was gonna deactivate me, fuck me, play with me, and drop me. And no way I was going out like a sucker. And no way. So I didn't. I let my homegirl go out. She had her fun. I had my reason. I went to the club, made some money, and we linked up the next day, went to go do our nails, went out for lunch, whatever. And I had never heard of dude. She had never brought him up. It went like that. So long story short, this is an example. Please stay away from your type. Ladies, marriage is a contract. I cannot stress it. I don't know how much examples I'm going to give you guys. But as the big sister you never had, if I had one advice to give my younger self, I would tell her, F love yourself, be about your bread, get on your grind, and date this older man, but don't be about that quick cash. Think long term. Think long term. Put a price on that kitty cat. If a man wants you, I learned this from watching, that geisha movie with that Chinese girl. Put a price on that kitty cat. There's this girl I know in Africa. When she get with a man, she has a goal that man must achieve in order to even see the kitty. Not touch it, not lick it, not feel it. See it. Put a price tag on that kitty cat. Put a goal to every man in your life in dollar amount or dollar form. But most importantly, work on your self-esteem and let yourself know and believe that you are that bitch and you deserve to be treated with love, kindness, and respect. You are worthy of that car. You are worthy of that home. You are worthy of that trip overseas. You are worthy of every good thing God has for you because you are a princess of the kingdom of heaven, and your inheritance as a child of God, as a woman, is for a man to do everything you say and much more. He must be happy giving you, because that allows him to be in your presence. So there must be a goal to every man in your life in order for them to have access to the kitty cat. When he gets too aggressive, he gets impatient, you need to tell him, baby, you haven't earned it. Well, what would it take? I'm working on my credit right now. I'm $20,000 in student loans. I need help with that. I shouldn't have to tell you, you should know. Or I'm trying to buy a house. I need 10% deposit. Or I need a car, and my girlfriend, boyfriend, or lover, or husband, or somebody just bought her a brand new Range Rover. What can you do for me? Like, you cannot be scared to ask for what you want, because the Bible says, ask and you shall receive. And one thing I learned in them clubs is a man who wants you will do anything to have you, no matter the price. If he has it, it is done, baby. The only thing, our self-esteem, stop us. Our lack of self-esteem stop us because we start to feel like we don't deserve. We start to feel like we aren't worthy. We start to feel like it's too much. We begin to feel like he won't give it to us. The minute you think like that, you are already defeated because you have stopped yourself from good. You have stopped yourself from greatness. You have stopped yourself from winning. But if you know that nothing is too much, you know your worth. You know that in order to get with you, this man must show that he can be in your vicinity. Like, not everybody needs to have access to you. Your worth, what you believe about yourself, ladies, is so important. Let's get there. I've been up and down and around the block, and a lot of people are like, oh, get your self-esteem, get your self-esteem, get your self-esteem. But nobody tell us what is that self-esteem. That self-esteem is for you to know that you are a princess, a child of God. Jesus himself kicked out the money changers out of God's house. He said, you will not turn my father's house into a den of thieves. So that means you're just like Jesus because you are created in God's image, resemblance, and likeness. And when he created you, he blessed you and he told you be fruitful and multiply. So if everything on this earth belonged to him, that is your inheritance through Abraham. Why are you here playing small? Why are you here acting like you don't deserve? When everything good should come to you because of who you are, simply point, period. We playing small has made us lose so much. Because you will get what you think you deserve. You will get what you think you're worthy of. And I'm going to tell you today, you are worth more than makeup, hair money, nails money, weave money. Those are chop change. You should be playing on a bigger level in the bigger leagues. One of my favorite women, even though she got cheated on, but she walked away with so much, is Lisa Ray McCoy. Lisa Ray McCoy utilized what God gave her, what she had, to open doors for her. She even married a minister that gave her, that they had their own island. She a woman just like you. She get her period just like you. She push out babies just like you. What makes her better than you? Nothing. She knows her worth. And she will not settle for less. And she knows that men are weak. A man likes to conquer. A man likes to conquer. So baby girl, if you act like you are accustomed to the good life, and that's what it will take for him to have you, that man will shake heaven and earth to put it under your feet. But since you think you don't deserve, you out here playing with them dusties. A man can only give you what he has. Ladies, let me repeat this. A man can only give you what he has in resources, time, energy, material. If a man has nothing to offer you but that D, that is all you're gonna get. Your back blown out, laying down, feeling good for 5 minutes. Then you go in that kitchen, you cook him something, he eat. He's the king of his castle. He ain't gotta give you nothing. If anything, he probably steal your money and bounce. Cause he ain't shit. So what he has to give you ain't shit. He can only give you what he has. And what he has is that thing between his legs. And he's giving it to everybody on the block. His community dig. What you want from him? Why are you mad? Why are you over here tripping? Going crazy. Wasting your energy. A man can only give you what he has. So get with a man that can give you what you want. It's so simple. It's so easy. People have been lying to us, going around in circle. Like I said, I'm going to keep it 1,000 because I learned the game. A man can only give you what he has. So get with a man who has the resources and the material to give you what you want. Because if he ain't got it, baby girl, where he gonna get it from? So if he's stealing your money and giving it to the next woman, and then we're sitting here crying, he don't love me, he don't love me. He ain't got that. That's your kryptonite. You're the one who went to Wicktown and tried to hang out in Dustville. Because all you really wanted was some love, but then he digmatized you because in Dustville, that's all there is. It's the power of the D. In Dustville, they're the prize because they're dealing with a whole bunch of insecure women who don't want nothing, who ain't basically, I don't know how to explain it. I don't know, like, I'm watching this show right now. It's called All Queens Men. And when I tell you, it is all about the dust town. Watch All Queens Men. See how she treats those male strippers. She's basically their mama. She tells them what to do. And that's what these women do in Dust Town. Masculine women who want little boys to control, to make her feel powerful, to make her feel some type of way. Every now and then she will intimidate them because they eat in her pocket. That's what All the Queens Men is about. It's about dusties. They are male strippers. They use their dingling to feed themselves. They have nothing else to give you. They can't give you anything because they themselves are broken and broke. They are in survival mode. So it's dog eat dog with them. It's either I'm going to get you before you get me type of deal. What am I going to do over there? Is it, I'm having a panic attack. You're going to break my heart. And I work too damn hard to have this heart to go. Bless it. It's yeah, I'm having a panic attack. To go to Dustville
and have somebody broke son with good dick and balance my pH, throw me off hormonally, and have my energy all unstable. No, I refuse and I rebuke that in the name of Jesus. Not today, Satan. Hell no. But for us, feminine women who are girly girls who like the finer things in life, this advice is for us. So if you're a masculine woman who want to take up somebody's dusty son, it's not for you. But if you're looking to level up, if you're looking to improve yourself, improve your look, improve your life, improve your standards, improve your quality of life, get the things that you desire, you may not be where you want to be, but you are far from where you used to be in somebody's dustyville. And God is not done with you. It's not over until the Lord says it's over. All that pain, all the heartbreak, all that madness you went through, baby girl, it is preparation for your next level. Because as a child of God, you learn from your mistakes and you don't make them again. He won't let you. Because before the devil does anything, he must ask God for permission. And if you are under covenant with God, you're covered. So your papa in heaven you pick game. He gonna open your eyes, whether it's showing you in a dream, or whether it's talking to you, or whether it's a Bible passage, or whether it's a conversation with somebody. Two people could be talking about what you're going through, and there you go. God is good. God is awesome. God is wonderful. I'm not a religious person. My life doesn't revolve around church. I'm not perfect. I have my dirt. But one thing I can tell you, I'm so grateful that nobody can judge me but God. And he don't judge me. He shows me mercy, love, kindness every day because he knows that though I am fearfully and wonderfully made, I am imperfect and I make mistakes. And through those mistakes, through the fire of the trials, he grows me. He betters me, he teaches me, and he picks me up. And that's the God we serve. So baby girl, I don't know, God, I did have a panic attack. Look at me, I'm sweating. So baby girl, I'm going to tell you, we all made a mistake. I kind of share my story, my ups and downs, everything I've been through. And all I can tell you before I go, y'all, all I can tell you, a relationship is a contract. It's a contract. The same way when a rich man want to marry a poor girl, he make you sign a contract called a prenup. It's an agreement. And in that prenup, in that agreement, make sure whatever you agree to works for your benefit. Don't go into relationship blind as a sucker. Go into a relationship with a purpose and a reason. And understand that this may be temporary. So you need to focus. I need you to get into your inner stripper and focus on what you can get out of this. And stack up your bread. Improve, invest in your look for the next level, for the next person, for the next thing. And keep moving, baby girl. Don't let nobody's son stress you. Another example. So this is in Florida. I'm living in my house. I met this older guy. He started giving me money. It's the norm. For me, older guys, it's the norm. They know what's up. So he started giving me money. It was good. It was good. At the time I didn't have a car. So when I'm walking on the block, all those dusties in the neighborhood, all checking for me, all talking about me, all wanting to get in my pants. But I'm not checking for Dustville. I'm checking for the palace. We're trying to get with the king. Fuck the prince. We're trying to get with daddies over here. So and basically this is how sad he was. Nah, I'm not going to lie. He wasn't the only one. There were two of them. Yep, there was this Cuban older guy, and then there was him. So one day, we are my back. I had a backyard, a fenced-in backyard. And we over there, excuse me, I did have a panic attack. Woo! So we're in the back, we talking, and old sugar daddy gonna tell me, oh, I know you got a lot of guys checking for you. I know that I ain't your only one. I know. And I already game recognized game, and you looking kind of familiar right now, my nigga. First of all, he's trying to play the poor me so I can reassure him. So I can reassure him and make him think and believe there's nobody else. He's the only one. He has nothing to worry about. To boost up his self-esteem, to boost up his ego, to make him feel good. So I had to stop him. I was like, listen, you haven't given me enough to stress me. Okay? You got a wife at home. Go cry to her. When you come here, it's fun time. We hang out, we have a good time, and no stress and no worry. So let's stay in that good vibe. Because you're stressing me right now and I'm about to kick you out. He ain't never tried that shit again. And the Cuban papi was my favorite. Cuba, I used to call him Cuba. Cuba was my favorite because he was about that good time. Cuba didn't bring up no relationship. Cuba didn't talk about shit. Cuba, I want my hair done. Here's the money. Cuba, I need my nails done. Here's the money. Cuba, help me with my bills. Here's the money. Cuba was a good time. All the way to that we still friends. Every time we call, it's good vibes. No worry, no stress. Always got money. Like, when I say it happened, he's a vibe. Like, I like people like that. People that I can count on. People that don't stress me. People that don't give me. Like, that's the contract. That's the agreement. You're here to show me a good time, so let's be about that. But don't bring, like Black China said, leave your feelings at the door. I don't reassure no man. I ain't your mama. I don't give men advice about life. I don't reassure men. That's your problem. I don't do anything to make a man feel good. I'm not in that kind of business. I might show gratitude on his birthday. On his birthday, I might go to a Dollar Tree. If I'm feeling generous, maybe Macy's or JCPenney, get like a tie or a belt or maybe a bottle of perfume. One day, once a year, if you're still in my life. But that's because that's the day you were born. But I would never, ever, ever sit here and take my energy and try to nurture a man. I got a kid. She needs me. If you're feeling insecure about niggas being around me, go work on yourself. I had to do that. So even when they're older, that doesn't mean the dust has dissipated. It just means they're older. That used to be somebody's dusty son who got older, probably got some money now. Don't have to date older women. So now he try to get with young girls and try to make him feel good. Nah, boo-boo. Ain't that kind of party. Don't stress me. So yeah, baby. Agreement. What is your agreement? Take a pen and paper. Let's do this because I gotta go. I need you to write down the name of every man in your life. The men in your life. And I need you to, first of all, income. Income is important. What is the income bracket? The one that makes less money, put them under 10%. The one that makes more money, put them under 50%. Medium income, 50%. The one that is rich, put them under 100%. Their name, the percentage, and what you want. That's his goal. You have assigned him a goal. So 10% probably work a 9 to 5. He can't do nothing but put some gas in your car, give you spare change to pay your rent, to pay car insurance, to get your nails done, pay your phone bill. You know, the little thing. That's your upkeep. That's your maintenance. That's that guy for that. That's who you go to when you want those small things. 50%, he got a little bit more loose change we can work with. That over there, you assign everything that's going to make you financially stable, whether it is fixing your credit, whether it is investing in a business, whether it is investing in your body. Whatever you're going to do to improve your life, put under that 50%. 100%, he got bigger goals because we're talking M's. That's the millionaire. Him, you want the house. Him, you want that G-Wagon. Him, you want that Range Rover. Him, you want the big things in your life. You want that $50,000 that you're gonna put in the RIA savings so you can recruit investment. With 100%, you are Princess P or Queen B, and he needs to invest. So you use 10% for this. Just look. 50% must improve you. 100%, he either come through and make the life better or he gets replaced. And please, baby girl, do not be afraid to replace this man. Lesson I learned from the strip club. We have a rule. I remember when I was a baby stripper, I used to go sit with guys. Like, I never had a problem approaching people. I'm an Aquarius. I'm very friendly. So approaching people, that's breakfast. So I'm always approaching guys. I remember there was another baby stripper when I became a veteran stripper. She was sitting there, and I walked up to her. I was like, yo, like, this guy wants you. Go over there. She's like, well, I don't walk up to guys. Okay, bitch. Whatever. Long story short, when I go to a guy, I was a baby stripper then. He would be like, no, I'm not interested. I used to get so mad because my self-esteem would take a hit. I'm like, what the fuck you mean you're not interested? It's me, boo. I used to have such a huge ego. So I'll go to the DJ. I'll be like, man, I'm tired of these niggas, man. Like, he's not trying to get a dance. He's not trying to do anything. The DJ's like, yo, Mims. Mims. That's what they took of me. He'll be like, yo, Mims, at least you don't waste your time. He could have bought you a drink, led you on, wasted your time, and still told you no. And you would have been a couple of dollars down. But the fact that he didn't even buy your drink, a whole song did not finish, and he told you no, baby girl, that's a blessing. Rejection is God's protection. Rejection is God's protection. So one day I'm going to teach you that I learned. We don't sit with a man for more than 3 songs. By song number 2, he must show interest. By song number 2, you must have a drink. By song number 2, you must be heading to the lap dance. By the 3rd song, if nothing popping, baby girl, excuse yourself and keep it moving. And that's the way it needs to be in life. You cannot be afraid to keep it moving. You cannot be afraid to replace this man. You cannot be afraid if it's not serving you, if it's not doing what you wanted to do, if it's not grading your life, then it's subtracting. If it's not adding, it's taking away. We ain't got time to lose right now. We can't have no takeaway. He gotta go. Let him go serve somebody on his level. Get with another one. So yeah, never be afraid to replace this man, this Negroes, this white man, whatever. Babe, know your worth. I'm telling you. And if you're shy, like I'm going to tell you my secret. I used to be a shy girl until I got on the pole. So if you're shy, I'm going to tell you, start taking some pole dancing classes. Like, being in a strip club, man, it brings that confidence. You're not afraid to ask for what you want. You're not afraid to tell a man to fuck off. You're not afraid of nothing. Like, it builds you up. So I'm going to tell you, I'm not telling you to go to the strip club, but I'm going to tell you, take some pole dancing. Or whatever it is you need to do to build up that confidence, do it. But being shy is not going to take you nowhere. And honestly, you're not shy. Somebody told you when you were a kid, they kept repeating, reinforcing that you were shy, and you believed it. You're not shy. You picked up the wrong belief. And you can rewire and reprogram yourself by standing in front of that mirror, looking at your beautiful body and say, I am confident. I am beautiful. I am wonderfully made. I am powerful. There is no man that can resist me. I have what they want. If you have what they want, exactly. That means they need to be in the palm of your hand, not the other way around. You're not shy, baby. You are not shy. But yeah, girls, that's a little bit about me. That's a little bit about the lessons that I had to share. That's a little bit about what I wanted to give you guys. Life is promised to no one. The reason why I'm making these videos, like I stated, I never really had a big sister. I was the big sister. I've always been the big sister in my friend circle. I have tendency of wanting to take out my friends, which I need to stop because I guess you're taken advantage of. But I do have a good heart. I'm a Christian, and God did say if somebody asks, you should give it to them. But I need to evaluate who deserves and who doesn't. Even though God said it, but I can't be out here being a sucker. But most importantly, I have a daughter. See, when I was 13, I had to move away from my mom. And though God sent destiny helper to help me, to put me on the path, many things I had to learn on my own. Many times I was on my own. So everything that I had learned, everything that I've accomplished, everything that I've studied, I'm going to put them on this video recording because, like I said, tomorrow is promised to no one. And knock on wood, I wish the good Lord up there give me up to 80 years more of living. But if I was to go tomorrow, maybe one day my baby girl might stumble on these videos, and these videos might be advice from her mother to her. You know? So I'm not only doing it because I got a daughter, I'm also doing it for the fact that I didn't have a mother to teach me. And I'm also doing it because as a child of God, we are a community. And a lot of the things that God, without a test, there's no testimony. That's it. So this, in a way, is my testimony. I've been to hell and hot water, and I have accomplished and achieved the things that are necessary for the next generation of young women who are coming into this world. Whether they have guidance or not, they're going to need big sisters. They're going to need us. See, our generation okay, let's put it this way. My grandmother used to have a thing. My grandfather was a dusty. He used to go around cheating. My grandma did not care. Whether she cared or not, she did not show it. My grandfather felt like my grandma did not love him because she never showed any emotion about his stupidity. My mom and my aunt, the one I told you guys about, they went to my grandma. They were like, yo, why you never care? Like, he does all this stuff. She's like, I'm not showing a man I'm weak. The minute you show him you care, oh, he's sitting on top of your head. That's game that my grandma taught my mom. My mom coming to me and telling me only give a man 10% of yourself or your heart and reserve 90% for you. Never give your all to a man. That's the game she taught me. Now I gotta teach game to my daughter. But at the same time, I feel like I've been called to teach game to another generation of women. And that's what we need to do. We need to pass the baton. We need to pass the knowledge. It's not for us to take to the grave. That's selfish. You know something. There's a young woman struggling. Remember when you used to be that young woman. Pass on the game. That opens door for you. That helps you because you have released energy and you just made room for more to come in. We're not in competition. The only competition we have is with our old self. How we become a better version of ourselves today. That young girl's not in competition with you. She's just a child of God trying to make it in this life, trying to figure out what this whole thing called life is about. And if you're a destiny helper, not trying to do what you were called here to do, you guys had an appointed meeting. It was God's timing. When she asked you that question, it was time for you to step up and do what God called you to do. But you let the devil scare you. Oh, she gonna run game. She gonna replace me. She gonna. So you kept the game to yourself. But what you're forgetting, what you do to another must be done to you. Life is about karma. What you put out there comes to you. All the good, though my grandfather was a dog, he still helped out people's son. And when I was in America and my back was against the wall and I was in them streets, it was strangers that came to help me. So that good that my grandfather did came generations down on me. So the good that I do today will come generations down. So you see, it's not about us. This whole thing was never about us. It's all about God, His glory, His mercy, and what He wants done. That's why we're here. That's the whole point of this. It was never about us. We're just a piece of puzzle in this game. You either going to have faith and walk with God, or you're going to be scared and be the devil's little bitch. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. So that's why I'm doing these videos. I don't know when I'm going to come back. I'm going to try to do them every Sunday because Sunday is when I have time. Short. My name is Michelle. Friends call me Mimi or Mims. You can call me Mimi or Mims. If you want to call me Michelle, that's up to you. But thank you for taking your time to watch this video all the way to the end. If it spoke to you, subscribe, like, share, and let more people, more girls see this video. I'm sorry if I cursed. I'm sorry if I used some vulgar languages. I had no other, I was in the moment. It just happened. So I want to show this to your underage girls. Please don't do it. But take it, recap it, and if they ever come up to you about some boy problem, teach them the game. These young girls are replacing us as we get older and as we're heading out of this thing. So let's teach them the game. Teach the game. Teach them games so they don't have to cry. So they don't, And some of them gonna be stubborn now, but they're still gonna learn the hard way. What they say, a hard head make a soft ass? Okay. So yeah, thank you so much for your time. I appreciate you guys, and I'll see you next time.